And welcome everyone to episode 4 of the Marvel's What If Spoilercast. This week, actually, no, ignore the whole this week bit. I don't know why I'm talking about that. As always, I'm Mitch. You can find me on Twitter, Mitch692, and of course, I'm joined by Sean.
What's up? You can join me at Instagram, Marvin the Martian _12, and I'm on the road, so yeah. On the road again.
On the old American highways. Or motorways, whatever you guys call them. I can't remember.
All the green and the cell towers, as far as I can see.
All those cell towers and not a bit of signal.
Yeah. It's very natural, you know. Back in the days when they were planting the old cell towers in the middle of the fields. It's like,
takes 100 years for cell towers to grow.
Yeah.
They grow slow.
And then another 100 years for the signal to get better.
Yeah, no, hopefully this should be okay. Hopefully.
It should be. No trees, so plenty of sound towers.
So yeah, episode 4. We are virtually you could say we're halfway through it right now.
Yeah.
You could say we're 4.5 weeks into this thing. We're halfway through it, and this I think will have to be my favorite one right off the bat. Yeah. This is more what I was expecting. Like we completely took a left turn with everything.
The more traditional what if ending too. So.
Yeah. The more like, hey, I hope you're happy because you're not going to be.
And this is like literally the first episode where the Watcher's more hands-on too. So it's
you can tell this is a Watu because he's just kind of like, hey, so I'm going to talk. We're going to break the rules. Hey,
I sense, like I love the beginning. I love the beginning of this episode where it's like kind of like it even starts off as like a what if from the get-go, from ground zero, with her, that the beginning of Doctor Strange movie proper, and then it kind of veers into the what if almost.
Yeah. Which we need to talk about Christine Palmer in this because I think her name is it Christine Palmer?
Yeah.
I said that with all the confidence, and then I was like, it doesn't sound right, but it is.
The other night nurse.
Yeah, the other night. Yeah. But yeah, the Ancient One says she's like an absolute point in time, which is a concept we haven't had brought up before, and I think it's thrown a lot of people, including myself, because it's like if her is she talking specifically about that reality, or is she talking about all realities? Because all realities, as we know from Loki, follow the same sense of time. Like time is not relative to one universe.
I think they were more talking about that specific, maybe that character, that specific moment in time. I believe, like, because like in the proper MC universe, she doesn't die.
No, exactly. That's what's thrown. I think obviously it's a what if, and it's like what if like different reality like in this one, but it's just like the idea. It's like going, Thanos is a universal or multiversal constant. Like Wanda's a Nexus being; she's consistent throughout every single reality. Like it's that sort of a thing, and it's like they are constant through everything.
Yeah, and I think
it's just it's a similar concept to, or at least in my head, to what that sort of thing is, and it's thrown me slightly because it's like, is she supposed to die? Like, what's going on?
No, I think maybe what they were going for was in that universe, she was supposed to die.
Yeah.
For him to, I don't know, like that's what I got out of it.
I mean, that was my initial thing as well. But you see people talking like as an absolute. You say an absolute moment in time. It implies consistency across everything. It's like, well, ours wasn't consistent with that, so does that mean she's going to die at a later point? Obviously, she's going to die eventually because everyone does. But it's just like, it's just an interesting idea that I don't know if people are taking out proportion or what. But it's an interesting conversation to be had with that because you can do a lot with, absolute point in times and like universal constants.
Yeah, and I think they're going to explore it a little bit more as the episodes go on.
I hope so.
Because the character that Doctor Strange is coming back.
So, yeah. That was, which is going to be interesting because he's like in his own little bubble.
He's in the mirror, like his own mirror dimension.
Yeah, that's just completely collapsing in itself.
Yeah, I think that he is a key to. He's probably a key character in whatever they're going to be fighting at the end of this season.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think this episode worked a lot for me for all the stuff that you said. Plus, the animation, I just feel got a little bit better. I think for each episode,
the animation was great in this. The action in this was fantastic as well. It was really well done.
And then, like, I love the concept of like that of Doctor Strange going bad. You know, like what.
Well, this is the thing. He wasn't. I don't know if I say like they dressed him up in like the whole like, purple, like the purple and the gold, and they made him look darker. But it's like he wasn't inherently a villain. Like,
no.
Is he a bad guy? It's like Doctor Strange was just.
I don't think he's a villain proper. I think he's more of a villain because he's doing what he wants to do, and not really. He's not being selfless. He's being selfish. If that makes any sense.
But isn't that Stephen Strange anyway? Like No Way Home, he like one tells him like, "Don't do that. It's dangerous." And he's like, "I'm going to do it anyway. Watch me."
Well, I mean that I think that situation is going to be more explored in that movie and maybe explained a little bit more. But like,
I assume so. Like because the people going, "Oh, Doctor Strange would never do that. This is clearly the Stephen Strange from What If." It's like, no, it's not. Shut up.
No.
I think it's not. Stephen Strange is an arrogant guy. Anyway, if you don't understand that, you've missed the concept of that character completely.
Yeah, well, I think this is the Stephen Strange he's the same Stephen Strange in every universe, but this is the one that is like maybe successful at what he's trying to do. You know,
like he lent a bit more in the arrogance and.
Yeah, he because I mean, if you look at the characters and character portrayal and like the live action, he untimely does something that is not like he eventually goes back to being selfless versus like doing what he wants. But this one feels like he just goes selfish the whole time until the very end, obviously, where he's like regretful for what he did because
only because stuff starts collapsing in on him. It's like, oh no, I made a mistake.
And like what did he think was going to happen when he confronts her, like even though she's dying, like he's obviously got in the back of his mind that he has to have been thinking about the fact that like she's not gonna like endorse what he's doing,
it's that typical like you devoted your entire life for a selfish reason to get someone back, and it's like you're not going to be that same person by the time you get them back.
Or like, is he doing it for her or is he doing it for himself? That's I think the question I'm asking. Yeah. It's like,
I think the answer to that is both. He's doing it for her, for him. Right.
But I think it's more for him because, like, if you asked her that same very question, and presented the fact that if she lived, everything would just be destroyed, she would probably go, "All right, just let me go."
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they're the same thing. Him doing it for her is doing it for himself.
Yeah, and I think he realizes that. I think at the very end,
it's slightly too late. Yeah,
slightly just a little late, but like better late than never, I guess. Like you still have that 5x5 square inch of universe left. I love the choice of the aesthetic of how they dematerialize. It's almost like ink from a page.
I really enjoyed that because, as you say, like, I was gonna say it's like ink, and like they could have easily done it without the colors of like the actual bits that are leaking just run off and make it look a bit more like that. But the black worked fine. But I did enjoy it.
Yeah, and I love seeing you seeing Schumer Grueth again.
Yeah,
Like
old Schumer's back in. Yeah.
there's that constant, and he's been constant almost every episode so far. I
Well,
think
half of them.
half of them, yeah, two out of the four.
Yeah.
But there's that's not a coincidence.
No.
And I love the fact that you get to see other types of because you never, and even in the live action, you really don't get to see too many of the demons they're talking about.
I was gonna say the whole
mystical beings.
With Shang-Chi, you see the more Chinese mythology. Like you see the is it Guardian Lions, the lion
Guardian
dogs?
Lions, yeah.
Yeah,
The
like
lion
you see those. Like we've seen them in the trailer. Obviously, you've got Morris. Like Morris is adorable.
Yeah.
Why isn't there a plushie of Morris? Give me that plushie.
I'm sure there's gonna be a bit more sometimes.
But yeah, so you get all this, and then with this episode, you get all, which people have drawn some interesting parallels, because the Wenwu, Tony Leung's character, kind of is doing the same thing as what this Strange done.
Yeah,
It's a very similar concept. Like,
yeah, he's got very similar motives, But but I love the episode though. I mean, it feels like the animation's getting better and better as each episode goes by.
Oh, definitely.
Also,
it's the live action, or not the live. It's the MCU debut of the Kirby Crackle, and I've got it once now, and I need it again. I don't want any excuses now on Marvel.
They know exists. They have no excuse to not put it into that.
I've seen concept art of it in WandaVision, and I don't like the fact that it was taken away from me. It should have been in there. Just do it, Marvel. It's not difficult.
You might get your wish soon.
I bloody well better. If it ain't in Eternals, I write. The one place it should be is Eternals.
I'm done.
I will actually quit. I will dedicate my time on this channel to crapping on Marvel.
And to be a DC fan.
Yeah. No, let's not go that far. Actually, let's not go that far.
Cats and dogs living together in harmony.
I can't do that. I'll just become
End of
one
the
of
world.
these people that I just won't watch the movies and then talk about it like I have most of the internet.
So, did you have a problem with the voice acting?
I thought Cumberbatch is weird, right? Cumberbatch sounded like someone doing a Cumberbatch impression. And I'm just I know for a fact it's him, but this is really strange. Ironically, it's really strange.
Strange.
Also, the fact that they got what's her face, Bibb? I can't remember her name.
Lisa Bibb.
Yeah, they got her back for half a second. It's like, I remember.
5 words,
It's like, wow.
Yeah. Well, I think they wanted to get back as many people as they could.
Yeah.
Even for the small ones, but if it didn't meet the schedule, then it wasn't necessary. It almost feels like a drag situation. Like it would have missed. I don't think she was not available. Not doing too much.
Yeah, I'm going to say she's not exactly high on her. But
or asking as much as I'm sure Dave Bautista was.
But I had to going back to animation quickly. Me and Armin talked about this in the commentary, but the character model for Christine, at least to me, doesn't look like
and Rachel McAdams.
Yeah. It looks more like Emilia Clarke.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, eh? I know it's who it's supposed to be, and you can hear the voice, but I'm like, that's Emilia Clarke. Obviously, I know sometimes the translation from an actual person's face to an animated look doesn't always translate well.
I had the same thing with I had the same effect with the Bruce Banner.
He didn't.
A little bit.
I wasn't sure if they were making him look like Norton mixed with Ruffalo, or if they just tried to do a Ruffalo. I know it's weird because some Cumberbatch, yes, his face and his head works perfectly for animation because it's got that. It's that almost like lizard, not quite human structure to Cumberbatch's face. Like, not trying to crap on the guy, but
No,
he does look a bit.
He's odd looking.
He's very unique looking. He's
Yeah,
got a unique structure to his appearance that he can't help. But then, like, it's just like it works here. You can tell it's Cumberbatch, but then you look at the McAdams character and you're like, that's not your face.
Yeah, I think it. I always chalk that up to being like not everything translates because
Yeah.
because you can say the same thing about the Steve Rogers. It wasn't like it didn't look like.
Yeah, but they went for Skinny Steve there, and Skinny Steve didn't look. It obviously had Chris Evans' face on it, but it's like you can tell it's a warped version of his face.
Yeah,
I think what might have done it because McAdams has those like moles.
Yeah,
and like this face is just clean, and I'm like,
where's the mold?
It's like, give me the moles.
Yeah, it's a where's Waldo situation.
It just kind of threw me a little. Not through. It wasn't like distracting or anything, but it's just kind of like that's not McAdams' face.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I think it's purely down to just like the face doesn't translate that well to animation to keep it consistent with everything.
You get that a lot with the like Hot Toys sometimes, it's just some people's faces aren't like if you look at what a good example is probably like Harrison Ford. Sometimes Harrison Ford's sculpt in those Hot Toys are just like I don't even know what I'm looking at sometimes.
See, I always put that down to Harrison Ford telling them to sod off and not actually.
True.
It's like, I'm not giving you my face. What are you talking about? I'm going to go crash my plane.
And tear this. I still can't get over the fact that he tore apart like a $500 figure on live TV that one time. That's side tangent, but like.
That's Harrison Ford for you. Man, don't give a crap.
Just doesn't care.
No,
you don't.
This is like. I'm not. What do you know what the next episode is? I'm not sure if they dropped a teaser for it or not.
I can't remember.
Because it's got to be. I think it's one of three.
I think it's the zombie one.
I was gonna say it's one of three, and I think I know what the last one's gonna be. Actually, no.
The last one is like the how they get together. Get the team together.
Yeah, because I was assuming that the whole Ultron one's going to be the end.
Yeah.
And they do it that way. Because, we've got Gamora as Thanos, we've got the zombies, and we have... I'm not sure if the zombies is the same as the Spider-Man one. Or is
yes.
Is it the same one?
Right. Yeah, it's the same
one. I can't remember. They got the Party Thor episode. So, like, you got at least three.
I believe it's the zombie one. That's the next one. I believe. Okay. I'm not sure.
Because it's how this has been getting darker and darker and darker. It's like, I can kind of. I wouldn't be surprised if the zombie one was next, but at the same time, I'm like, I wouldn't be shocked if there was like the Party Thor in between, just to kind of like raise the mood a little bit more. To be fair, that might be dark as hell. I don't know. No.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, like. It's naive Thor, so but the zombie one's probably gonna be one of my favorite ones when it comes out. Like it's a very interesting setup and take on the characters, because if you look at the promo, it's the Bucky from Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, it is. That's a very good point.
And there's a pretty good reason why that is the case. I won't spoil it.
I mean, I should assume so. I hope there's a reason for it.
Because there's like a million targets, even though I'm driving on the interstate, like placed on my trained on my head. If I do take it, but,
I assume it's the Tony Stark drones.
Maybe, yeah. I did, But yeah, it's gonna be one of my favorite ones when it comes. I think a lot of people are gonna like really dig it too, because it's like.
People have been clamoring for Marvel Zombies for years. They're gonna love it regardless.
But like it's a very interesting take on the story too, because like it sets up Bucky. It kind of sets up Bucky as being the main character, in the show, but there's an interesting twist to it.
I look forward to it then. Oh, there was something else.
Did you see Dormammu too? Like the
Oh, that's it. I don't know if it was intentional. I assume it was intentional, but the fact that they actually made the Dark Dimension animation look slightly different.
Yeah.
And it's like everything had like a thicker line. I assume to like portray that how big these guys are, but he looked fantastic in this animation. I adored that. And I was like, oh, just do the whole ending in this, please. I want to see that again.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like
so
one
good.
of my favorite parts of the episode.
Mm.
After the fact of Uatu, like him sensing Uatu, and then like him pleading to Uatu to help.
Yeah, I really liked that. Where he's like, "Who said that?" He's like, "Oh shit, I've been spotted." He's like, "Peace, I'm out." And then he does a typical Uatu thing at the end. It's kind of like, I shouldn't reveal myself. But you got to keep consistent with the comics and the Uatu. Like the Watchers only reveal themselves when shit's about to go down.
And not only that, I think he realized like Strange knows he's there, and like.
Yeah, so what's the point in hiding when this guy? Also, Uatu's like people don't know this. Uatu's a really bad Watcher.
Yeah, he's probably one of the worst. He should have been fired a long time ago.
Like he's really not good at what he does. That's why he's always getting involved, and that's why you know his name.
It's almost like they should have changed his name to like the Interferer, versus the Watcher. He doesn't do much watching, He interferes a hell of a lot more than the Eternals. That's for sure.
No, it was nice to have Jeffrey Wright have a bit more to do, and I'm hoping that just carries on going forward in this because I need more Jeffrey.
For sure.
I need more.
You're gonna get a lot more of him, especially in that last episode when he gets because he basically gets the team together. So he's like
that was my assumption
for getting the team.
Yeah,
so you're gonna get a lot more dialogue, and then from everything I've been hearing, you're gonna hear from here on in he's gonna be more like talky in the next season.
Hey, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, I love Jeffrey White's voice. So it's that in what's his name, man? I'm blanking on his name. Played Lucius Fox. Damn, I'm really blanking.
Morgan Freeman.
He played Lucius. Morgan Freeman.
How do you forget Morgan Freeman?
I'm old and I forget things a lot. So that's all I chalk it up to.
I was gonna say, the original. Oh, I like that guy's voice.
The smooth baritone voices of Forrest Whitaker. I should be ashamed of myself.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for more Uatu and Jeffrey Wright because he's a good fit for that character. Yeah. He's a very good fit for that character. All right. So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I like to keep these 25, 30 minutes. By far my favorite. I know I said it last week, but this one is this is the go balls because before we wrap it up, we didn't actually mention this. This is the first What If that's introduced a brand new character. Yep. And it's just kind of like, hold on, we've got Cagliostro. He's just here, of all people. Yep. Is that a setup for him being alive in the actual movies? I don't know, but he's right. He exists clearly, and it's just like, wow. Of all
he's
people,
canon now.
He very much is, yeah. And very much in a Yoda role, but gotta love it.
Or is he in the Yoda role? Because you gotta question whether or not he was responsible for this too. That's how there is that, but it's very very wizardy and sorcery to let people make their own mistakes and learn their own lessons. But like how boomers are with the world, it's like, well, I ain't going to be around when this world burns to ash. It's not my problem. Enjoy the rest of the time. I'm only saying this as a fan, but do your research on who this character is. The character is actually quote unquote real.
Yeah,
character.
it's an alias of Cagliostro. Yeah.
Yeah, and Cagliostro wasn't a good guy per se, like either. So
No, I always put the wizards and the sorcerers down to that moral grey. It's like they're
yeah,
so far beyond what normal people presume to be right and wrong. It's like, I mean, would you rather I kill 1 million people, or would you rather I save your timeline? Make up your mind. Like,
yeah,
you
it's true.
know, you can't have one without the other. Like, I'm doing right just because some sacrifice has to be made doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Plus, you can chalk it up to him wanting to die. You know, like this was
Yeah,
to
yeah,
move on.
yeah.
You know, like this is the only. I think this was the only way for him to move on as from where he was, because he was stuck there. You know, until Strange kind of like started to destroy the world.
Yeah. He's like, my time has come.
Thank you, Doctor
Peace.
Strange. Peace
Yeah.
out. Enjoy
So
the
he,
rest of
he got out there before that crap collapsed. That's I can tell you that right now. He's like, oh,
I
I've
think
seen this coming.
I think the only missing part was him like enjoy the next 30 minutes of your life because
Yeah.
it's all it's left.
That's all you're gonna have.
Later.
But yeah, so that was a nice, fun little Easter egg, and I say Easter egg. It's not like there's just a whole brand new character, and I wasn't expecting more
Character
brand new
death.
characters in these things. Just like, huh, we just fleshed something out a bit more. That was cool. So yeah, we will catch you all next week for episode 5. So bye bye.
Bye bye.